I'm Tisha.
I'm Loren.
And this is the Open Booked podcast. Today, we are talking about Kingdom of Ash, the final book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. And she's a lot.
She's thick.
Yeah, 980 pages. Holy shit.
Yep.
I'm so glad to be done with it, though. But first, are you reading anything?
No. I'm going to Netflix after this.
I don't even want to think about an audiobook for like 3 days.
Yeah, I need a minty break. Or I'll have a minty bee, you know?
Yeah.
What about you?
Same. I just finished Kingdom of Ash like the 45 minutes ago, and I don't know what to do with my life now.
Same.
I might stare at a wall for a while.
Yeah. We're recording this like fresh, just so you're aware. We both finished the book. I think I finished around 1:30, 1:45, and it's currently 3:30. And she finished around 2:45, 3. So like we haven't even like fully processed yet, I don't think. No. So these are gonna be like fresh reactions.
Yeah. Yes.
But before we dive into that, do you want to yap a little?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first and foremost, right after we finished recording the other day, we had talked about the full cast of Reminders of Him and all these movie casts, and none other than the bell-bottom queen herself, Lainey Wilson, has been added to the Reminders of Him cast.
Yes, and I think she's gonna do so good at that kind of airhead, like, manager position in the book movie.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who Amy was. They said casted as Amy. And so I Googled and it wasn't helping. It just kept showing me Lainey Wilson. And I'm like, yeah. But like, who is she, like, character-wise? And then you said, I think she's the boss at the grocery store. And it clicked. Yeah. That's who. She's going to be funny at that. I think the accent's going to be good. Yeah. I think she'll do really well.
Yeah, I can just imagine her in the bathroom. For anybody that hasn't read Reminders of Him, basically Kenna, the main female character, meets this manager in the bathroom of a grocery store because she's trying to clean her shoes because she's like, oh, I'm trying to get a job and I can't, try to meet somebody looking like this. So she's trying to clean her shoes off and kind of having a moment, and this manager comes in there and just kind of talking to each other, and then she realizes who she is and she's like, oh, are you hiring?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, actually, can you like start tomorrow or today, like this afternoon?
Yeah, and they end up becoming pretty friendly, I would say, like becoming friends. So I think that'll be fun to see, because we all saw her in Yellowstone. The few episodes there, but I think it'll be cool to see her in a movie.
Yeah. With a more kind of dramatic and serious, but also kind of love story. I think it'll be nice.
For sure. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Okay. We have some local news. Quite a few bits of local news here. We're going to start with Mr. Copeland. AKA
fucking Rick Copeland.
Rick Copeland, the admin of What's Happening NWA. You want to know something funny? I knew I recognized his name. He sent me a friend request, and I left it on YouTube.
I was friends with him for a couple of years.
Shit! So you deleted him?
Yeah, I want to say it was like 8 months ago. He posted something weird or something that just rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, why? Like, he doesn't actually add value, so I'm just going to unfriend him. And thank God I did.
Yeah, thank God you did. What's he doing with pictures of girls on Facebook? Because this motherfucker has been arrested, and you want to know why. He got arrested for hiding a pen-shaped, looked like a pen, spy camera in the bathroom at Sassafras Winery. They proved it. I heard the whole story here. They proved it by the winery has cameras. They saw him go in the women's bathroom, set it up, come out, pick a table where he could view the women's bathroom door, He was
Yeah.
on his phone anytime a woman would go in there, and then I think there was 7 women, and the 7th one found it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she found it, turned it in, and he had a moment of panic and like went in the bathroom to see if it was there, and then went up to the counter like he was looking for something, and then like was watching. I guess they had a cup that had pens in it for like signing tickets, and he was like looking to see if the pen was in there, and thankfully, obviously, it wasn't, and he didn't get it back, and they were able to press charges for video voyeurism. So, but I also saw that is not the first time he has had charges against him, and he just pays his bail and he gets to do whatever he wants.
That's shitty. What I want to know is how many times he's done it and not gotten caught.
Exactly.
Because he has known, this is what I heard anyways. I guess he currently lives in Siloam, but he's from Cave Springs. Cave Springs is very much our neck of the woods, and they say that he frequents restaurants in Bentonville and Rogers almost nightly. So, how many times has he done this and not gotten caught?
Probably
Has
hundreds.
it been us? It could have been us.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's going in my head. Like, I wouldn't pay any fucking mind to a pin in the bathroom. Now I am. Yeah. But it's freaked me out. This is too close to home.
Yeah. And so in his profile picture, he's wearing scrubs.
Is he a doctor? Is he a nurse? Is he...
I don't know.
CNA?
Because it doesn't say on his profile. And I'm like, if he's willing to do this, like, what has he done to any potential patient that he's come across, or a plethora of people that he has encountered? And I mean, there's a reason he's single.
Yeah, he's a fucking creep.
Yeah.
See, I don't think he should sit in jail, because I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to him. I think we should just put him down. And this is controversial. I'll say this 100 times. I don't want my taxpayer dollars paying for people to get free meals and shit in prison or jail or whatever. Like, he's proven time and time again to be a serial offender of being a fucking loser ass creep. Death penalty. I don't... Maybe extreme. I'm now gonna check the bathrooms. Like, people may say, oh, that's extreme. It's extreme that I should have to check the bathrooms.
Yeah.
That's what's extreme. That kind of behavior is something we have to look out for. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah. And I think there's not tough enough consequences for things like this. So it's like, oh, I've done it once. Let me just pay my lawyer, pay my bail, and I'm good to go again. And then I just keep getting to do it, because who's going to stop me? And that's where we need to make the consequences harsher, so people really think about the value of doing this. When you can get porn, you can get things like you can get literally anything in video or photo format that you want to. And it's probably cheaper than sitting there drinking all night and watching these videos and ordering a camera to place in the bathroom.
Yeah, like, you can just go Google porn for free. Like, that's what I don't... I'm sure you can find someone using the bathroom if that's what you're into. If that's what you're into, I try not to kink shame, but gross. But, like, at the same time, if you have that thing, that's fine.
Yeah. And there are people out there willing to do that with you. Like, just...
Yeah. Get on Craigslist. I don't know.
Find them.
Just don't go to the winery and make normal women feel uncomfortable. This pisses me off so much.
Yeah.
Pisses me off so much. And it pisses me off even more because it's like places we go. So now I'm literally going to be like, I don't know. I'm just makes me think a lot more. I've been really freaked out since then about public bathrooms in general. Like, there's a part of me that's like, this happens way too much for it to have not happened to us, and we don't know it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, gives me the ick. Something fierce.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, we've just got all sorts of wild shit going on. Yesterday, or the day before, Friday, there was a 19-year-old. God, this is so sad. It's actually the exit that I take to go to work. And he drove his motorcycle to the top of an overpass over the busiest interstate, probably in our whole state, would you say? Maybe not, Little Rock.
Really busy, yeah.
It's a really busy interstate. And and jumped off. He
was
be
only
honest,
19
only 19. He hit the roof of a car and then fell, and no one
and
ran
then
him
got
over
hit.
after that. Oh, he did get hit?
Yeah, he got
I
hit
read that he
afterward.
didn't. Well, yeah. I mean, imagine being in the car, too. Like, what if
Yeah,
there were
I can't
kids in the
imagine the
car?
trauma that those people are dealing with. Yeah, because it was like rush hour. It was like 6:25 when the police were called. So that's
Yeah.
like busy prime time. I mean, if we had been going out to eat dinner, like that's when we would be going through there. Because
Yeah,
you know
and
we're
that's where
going to
all the
Texas
restaurants are.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, that's the exit up from Texas Roadhouse, and that's where all the restaurants are.
Yeah.
And it was also a Razorback game night, and so people in Bentonville were driving to the game, and they had the complete interstate shut down. Apparently, there was another accident because of it that was unrelated, but just had the whole fucking interstate shut down, which is like never happened that I've known of since we've lived here. There are ways around it, but when you have a very busy interstate, you can't even get off. Like, I don't even think the emergency vehicles could get there for a while because of, when things like that happen. But yeah, very, very sad. I'm sure the people in the car blame themselves. Like, I was telling Jesse, I wouldn't help but think that. And he'd be like, but they can't, like, it's not their fault. No, absolutely it's not. But you still think, like, I don't know. If I was watching,
If I'd been paying more attention or saw him up there. Yeah. But like you said, there's no way around it. And it's just really unfortunate that someone so young would think this was the best solution to a temporary problem. Saw several conflicting stories about like cheating or stealing from family members or something. Like all of those problems are temporary and could be resolved. Like, yes, people would be upset with you. Yes, people would be hurt, but in the end, they'd be a lot less hurt than they are now having to bury this poor kid.
Yeah, and when you hear sad stories about suicide, my first thought is always to the people, the family, because they're going to blame themselves for the rest of their lives. Even if it was nothing to do with them, they're going to blame themselves. Like, why didn't I check in? Why didn't I do this, do that, the other? Like, and I just can't imagine what his parents, siblings, friends, like what they're going through right now. So to be so young, especially. And to be honest, I kind of thought, well, it's really not high enough. If a car wouldn't have hit him, he wouldn't have died.
Probably not.
He would have been injured, maybe paralyzed, unless he hit his head first. But it's really not, I mean, it's tall, but it's not that tall. It's a survivable fall. So the fact that the cars hit him, I'm sure, is what did it. But then when people do stuff like that too, sometimes I wonder, okay, maybe he thought this is like his cry for help, But then the cars, and obviously, I don't know. That's kind of where my head goes. I can't even begin to understand any of it, but it's very sad. In lighter news, more giggly news, we have a crazy TikTok guy. He's my favorite now. Did you go to his page after that? I sent you that TikTok.
I didn't even know. I don't know what he's saying. Like,
this is what I've gotten out of it. Here's my summary. He's convinced that Arkansas is the real Middle East and the Egyptian pyramids and all that, phooey.
Fake. Yeah.
Fake. The Ozark Mountains or the Ozark National Forest, Ouachita and all that shit. That's the real pyramids.
Yeah.
And he posts videos. Look, there's another pyramid. It's a fucking mountain. It's a hill. There's another Arkansas pyramid. I want whatever this guy's having. He's living life.
Yeah, that was bad. Like I slowed it down. I tried watching it again, and I'm like, his mind is just bouncing between so many things. I was like, I don't understand what he's trying to portray here, but good for him.
He needs an Addy. He needs an Addy to focus on one thing, because he was like, like a little pinball.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's convinced, and he's passionate, and he's gonna die on that hill. And I respect that of any person, especially if you're coming up with a conspiracy theory. So, you know what? You do you, my guy. You do you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next bit of business. We're getting out of the local stuff. We got a little heavy. Let's move on. This one's kind of heavy, too. No one got hurt, though.
Thankfully.
Lady Gaga. Yeah, thankfully. Can you believe she had a concert? How the fuck do you get 2 million people in one spot? My brain can never. I cannot comprehend this.
No, it's so many people. And she had tried to do it a couple days before, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, everybody show up here and I'll put on a show for you guys. And cops were like, actually, no. No.
Because there was a bomb threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that she had this tried to have the giant ass concert as a bomb threat. I don't know if it was ended up being fake or real. I just know that it was resolved, which tells me maybe they did find a bomb or maybe it was just someone talking shit.
Yeah.
But I can't comprehend 2 million people. The biggest concert I've ever been to, I've been to probably 2 that are giant, and that's Morgan Wallen at the Chiefs Stadium, which is 80,000 people. I just Googled it. And then Ed Sheeran also at the Chiefs Stadium, which would also be probably around 80,000 people. That many people in one spot, and traffic and everything is stressful enough. I cannot imagine 2 million.
Yeah, no. No way. Wild.
Yeah, I love Lady Gaga. I would not brave 2 million people to see Lady Gaga.
No.
Someone's going to be live streaming. I'll just click that.
Yeah. I'll watch it after. That's cool.
Yeah. We'll find it on YouTube or clips on TikTok, I'm sure.
That's like, did you see this group of people had what they called Coachella? Or no, Cowchella. They live streamed Coachella from their apartment and just chilled on the couch, ate popcorn, had all the snacks they wanted, didn't spend thousands of dollars, didn't go into debt, and still got to vibe like they were there. And I'm
you
like,
know what?
More people need to do that shit.
They are living in 2040. We should do that. If someone live streams Sand in My Boots, we should do that.
Yeah. Yes. We can have a backyard bonfire and just vibe. Put it on.
I will buy. I was gonna say, if you guys do a backyard bonfire, I'll buy the fucking projector and I'll roll up. You think I'm
kidding? Put it on
the
side of the building or the garage door.
On the side of your house. Fuck around and find out. I'll do it.
Let's go.
I'm putting out a project, but we have to make sure someone. This is an idea for you concert people. You're putting together a concert. Give people a live stream option for like $20-$30.
Yeah.
I would pay it.
Yeah.
If it's a concert I really want to go to, we'd have a party. Yeah, I'd pay it.
Yeah. I'm not having to travel. I'm not having to put on cute clothes. I'm not having to pay $30 for one drink.
Yep. Nope. I'll have my cooler and I'll be singing along from Rogers, Arkansas.
Yeah.
There's an idea, a marketing idea, a millennial urge to make everything a business.
Bring it to us. Maybe we just need to do it.
Yeah, maybe we do. Add it to the list, along with the bookstore and everything else.
Recording studio.
Businesses, recording studio. Yes. Yep. Sodo is gone, bitches. It's bittersweet though. Yeah. It's not actually gone out of my house yet. It's going to be gone Tuesday or Thursday. But the papers are signed. It's gone. So, yeah. I'm excited.
Yay. Yeah. Yay and sad and yay more.
Looking for recs for stuff to do on the weekends now. I haven't had weekends in over 3 years. So, a normal weekend anyways. So, it'll be exciting.
You need to start going to like day movies, like matinees, because it's way cheaper. There's less people.
Yeah.
Get some Chili's lunch. Go watch a movie.
Triple dipper margarita than a movie. Let's fucking go. Now there's an idea.
Yes.
Okay. I have a new TikTok obsession.
Okay.
Have you? Sorry, that was a shift in gears. Have you seen any of the Sally videos?
I don't think so.
Okay, so there's this guy named Tucker. His stage name is Role Model. And he sings this song called Sally When the Wine Runs Out. I'm sure you've heard that song. It's like, don't go falling in love and disappear when the wine. It's like,
I don't know.
Here we go again, falling head first.
Maybe.
Cold like Minnesota, hotter than a fever. Okay. It's going to be your entire TikTok now. Okay, so you know how every concert has, like, that trend, right? So, wait, did we even talk about that we went to Megan Maroney? Did we talk about that
We didn't.
Week? Okay, we'll talk about that next. Okay, so every concert has, like, a trend of, like, Lainey Wilson does the Cowgirl of the Night. Megan Maroney does Miss Universe. That was really cute, by the way. Okay, this guy... They pick a random person from the audience. Sometimes it's a famous person if they're in the same town. And when he sings that song, he brings them out on stage, and when I say gives them their moment, they can dance, they can do whatever they want, they can vibe. And these girls have been training for these moments their entire lives, and I am just a pure joy. And he like hypes them up. He's like, yeah, and they're like dancing. One girl like dropped down to the fucking worm. I mean, like, it is the best thing I've ever seen. It's like the most wholesome trend ever.
I love that.
Because you just know these girls are gonna be talking about it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. Grace O'Malley actually was one, I think, in DC because they were both there, and she tripped going out on stage. And you know how she is, she's funny, but it was hilarious because she tripped during the line that said, "Here I go again, falling head first." And so then I thought, did she do it on purpose? No, you could tell by her face she was fucking embarrassed. Like, I was like, that is hilarious.
Too funny.
But you need to look at these videos. I was showing Jesse, and he's like, "Oh, that's really cool." I'm like, I don't know why I'm obsessed with this, but it is so wholesome. Just sometimes you need some wholesome in your life.
Yes.
Okay, Megan Roney, before I forget, we got rained on.
We did.
We got wet.
Okay, they need to either create a longer sidewalk or find a better way for people who are standing in line to stand in line, because we had to like snake our way around into the parking lot, and that's kind of dangerous, really.
Cars were driving right past us. People were having to move so people could back out of parking spots.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
You know what's the funniest part is we'd been texting, but we didn't like plan on meeting each other in line, and they were
like two people behind them.
Two people behind us. It's just so funny how that worked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it was a great show. Once we got through the rain delay, I think the momentary needs a nicer concert manager person.
Yes. Because they had a delay because there had been rain. They delayed it like 30 minutes, 35, something like that.
Well, they delayed letting us in, but they didn't push back showtime, which was weird to me. So we're standing in line getting rained on.
Yeah. So we finally get in the gate and it starts lightning, and we're like, great. At least if it had started lightning before we got in, we could go back to our vehicles. But we had to we got separated. So Loren and her sister-in-law and my husband are under a tent and in the parking garage.
My sister-in-law and I were in a porta potty because we were drunk and thought taking shelter in a porta potty would be a great idea. So not only were we were in the same porta potty. Told you that?
No, I did not know that. Oh, man.
So then we find her husband and end up, I'm cracking up. And then we find her husband because he went to the bathroom too, and we end up in the tent by the parking garage. Yeah. And where did y'all end up?
We ended up inside of the Momentary, which is art gallery museum thing. Inside, just past the gift shop, and they're shoving all of these people in, like probably 10,000 people shoved in there, maybe.
There's thousands of people.
Lots and lots of people in there.
Yeah.
And we're all drenched because it started lightning, and then the sky fell out, like soaked all of us, and like through my rain jacket even. I was so annoyed. And then something weird happened. We're in there, and then somebody is like, we can go. So we all rush out of the building, and then they're like, wait. You can't go on the lawn yet. I'll lose my job if I let you on the lawn. And I was like, this is weird. Why? Why did they let us out of the building, but we can't go onto the grass? I was like,
yeah.
Okay. So we waited another 10, 15 minutes, and then they finally let us go back to our seats. And then they're like, oh, everybody don't crowd the stage. Don't crush anybody. And then they're freaking out. They're like, if you don't back up, everybody take 3 steps back up, or we're going to shut it down. We'll send you all home and we'll cancel the show. I'm like, bitch, you're not going to cancel the show because then you have to give us our money back or reschedule it. And Megan can't reschedule, and you're not going to give us our money back. So shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, he was yelling in the microphone.
Yeah.
My point of view of this, people getting let go when they couldn't, we were in the tent and all we see is fucking white boots running. I'm not even kidding. Running, because this entire venue is general admission.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't like get a seat. Like, they were wanting to be close, right? Of course. So,
Yeah.
running. So we think we can go. We just take off walking, and then he gets on the microphone yelling,
Mm-hmm.
"Get back! You are not released!" Woo, 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 woo. Like, dude has an anger problem. So then they all run back, and then, like she said, the 10 or 15 minutes later. But luckily, they had let us in. What I did find out was when we went back in the merch line, there was 2 gates. You could see the gate we came in and the other gate. They didn't let anyone else back in until like halfway through the opener set. They weren't letting any new people in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I sent my, I think it was my sister-in-law back to the seats, and it was just me and my niece in the merch line, it's because they started letting people back in. So we didn't want anyone to like crowd you guys. So we were like, oh shit. Yeah, no, there was thousands of people in line. They wouldn't
Still
even
waiting.
let in. Yes.
That's awful.
That entire time we were taking shelter and it was dumping, they were standing out there. We could see them to the left of us in the tent where we were. I was like, y'all need to figure this out. But once we got there, and I missed the entire opener in the merch line. Like, it was ridiculous.
He only did like 4 songs. They cut him short, and he wasn't bad, but he wasn't Morgan Wallen either, so you didn't miss a lot. He wasn't even Bailey Zimmerman.
But her part of it was great.
Yeah, loved it.
I think she is a good performer.
Sounds just like she does on the radio.
Bad. Yeah, I'd heard she sounded bad live, but I thought she sounded just like the radio. She has like a natural raspy voice, and that's what I expected to hear, and that's what I heard. So I thought, I was super impressed. I thought it was a good show. She had good stage presence. Like, the set list was on point. Like, loved it. Great show. My niece's first concert, she was fangirling so hard when she came out. It was so cute. She's like, oh my.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, no, she had a good time. I had told her before. I was like, there's 2 types of people at concerts, okay? There's the kinds that have fun, and there's the kinds that just sit there. You don't have to drink to have fun. You know, like, you're going to be a bump on a log, you're not going to have fun. But if you let loose, you dance, you sing along, you're going to have the best time. And she did. So I think she had fun. And then we drunkenly made my husband take us to Waffle House after. And it was also her first Waffle House experience. But no, it was really, really good show.
Yeah, aside from all the rain, it was great.
Yeah. We all looked like drowned rats by the end of it.
We did. But all those girls in their pretty dresses and skirts, and it was cold.
It got cold. I put my hoodie on because I was so cold.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about the merch? It was super cute, but she made a fucking killing selling those sweaters at $90 a pop.
I am a clown because I bought 2. One was not for me. One was for me, but girl math. I just found out when I washed it, it's reversible. One side says, "Am I okay?" The other side says, "I'll be fine." So,
okay, that's
really,
cute.
It was $45 because
2 sweaters.
I got 2.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I didn't know that. Nobody was wearing it the other way.
No, because when they give it to you, it's on one side. Yeah, and on the merch line, it didn't show you that at all. Like, it just showed the one side, so I guess it's a little Easter egg or something. But
or they just reprinted from her last tour.
Yeah, maybe. But I got 2 sweaters out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good show. Our next concert is Thomas Rhett and Jay next month. Oh my god, it's almost Jesse's birthday. I need to figure something out.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, last thing before we get into the meat and potatoes. We're clowns. We're absolute clowns. Give me the red nose.
Yeah.
No Akatar 6 was announced.
No.
Because you don't know what we're talking about. We ranted about it last week for like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Go back and watch last week's episode to know what we're talking about. But We were hoping, because it was May Day and the 10th anniversary of A Court of Thorns and Roses, we were going to get an Avatar 6 announcement because Bloomsbury had sent these huge, like huge, bigger than a person, book stand-ups that one SJM had signed, and it was a quote from the book, and there was a bookmark in it that said, like, don't let the hard days win or something.
Mm-hmm.
So we were really hoping it was going to be Elaine's story, and we were really excited. And just like every Swiftie for the last 8 months, we look like clowns.
Yep. Here we are. She's gonna do it on a random day that means nothing.
Yeah.
Or she's just gonna drop it. I saw somebody post that, maybe you sent it to me, that it's like, what if it's done and there's no press tour and she just drops it on a random Tuesday, because books always come out on Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. She drops it on a random Tuesday and just Book Talk loses their fucking mind.
I mean, yeah, that would be the result. Everybody would lose their mind. I would lose my mind.
Leak, though, because the bookstore people would start getting them and somebody that works there would leak it.
Yeah, I mean, just like they did at Target and Walmart, letting all the people purchase them early.
Yeah, people were purchasing Onyx Storm like a week early at Target and Walmart.
Yeah.
Just because they fucked up and put them on the shelves too early. Not Tisha going to every Walmart and Target in the area to try to see if they had it. She did.
Literally. All of them in Fayetteville, Joplin.
Yeah.
Bentonville, Rogers. All of them.
Yeah. But we'll see. There's also a huge group of people that think it's actually going to be tomorrow. That's the announcement. We're recording this on May the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day. But there's a lot of people that think it's going to be tomorrow on Cinco de Mayo.
I could see that because it was actually released on May 5th, right?
I think. There's some sort of meaning. I don't know 100%, but
yeah. About
half of Book Talk thought May 1st and the other half thinks May 5th. I'm not holding my breath.
No, not after. No.
We'll see.
Yeah. So I watched Another Simple Favor last night.
You did?
Yes.
How cringy?
Only a couple cringe moments, like the one I sent you, where she's like, yes. "Oh, you're going to be receiving a subpoena soon. I have these fancy new lawyers." I was like,
"Yeah."
Girl did not read the room, and there was one other.
Yeah. They must have recorded that before.
There was one other part which would give away a lot, so I can't talk about it. But there's one other part that I was like, this makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And two, I don't know how you actually did this, like recording. And then three, very cringe because she claims, she was indisposed during the labor scene in Dance With Us. And she basically is here too. So I'm like, so clearly you're not that uncomfortable with being naked and a bunch of people in the room? Okay.
Also heard a lot of people talk about how bad it is, though. Like, I've seen a bunch of things that are like, I can't even finish it. And I'm like, it can't be that bad. I mean, the first one was good.
The first, third of it was obnoxious, and I was like, God, this sucks. This is really bad. But it does get more interesting, and things start falling into place, and you're like, oh, okay, it got a lot better.
So I bet the people didn't make it through the first bit that are saying that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Has to be. Because I thought about it, but I was like, no, it's got to be better. It's got to get better.
Yeah. Anna Kendrick's in it. We got to root for her.
Yeah. Also got to figure out who did it.
Yeah, we can't not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready?
It? Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, that's the yapping. Let's talk about Kingdom of Ash. Spoiler alert! We're going to spoil the entire Throne of Glass series here.
Yes.
Start to finish, y'all. So buckle up. If you haven't read it, thanks for listening to us yap. Go away, come back later. If you have, buckle up.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to read the back?
Sure. Together they will rise, or together they will fall. Aelin Galathinius has vowed to save her people, but at a tremendous cost. Locked in an iron coffin by Maeve, the Queen of the Fae, Aelin must draw upon her fiery will as she endures months of torture. The knowledge that yielding to Maeve will doom those she loves keeps her from breaking, but her resolve unravels with each passing day. With Aelin captured, her friends and allies have scattered. Some bonds will grow even deeper, while others will be severed forever. But as destinies weave together at last, all must stand as one if Aurelia is to have any hope of salvation.
Yeah. A lot happened in this book.
Yeah. So much happened.
So, first, let's talk about Aelin being imprisoned, because the last book ended with her being locked up.
Mhm.
Mask, collar, chains, the whole bit.
Yeah.
I just feel like this whole series has been her. See, we're still processing, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like this whole series has been her getting fucked over, coming out, sacrificing herself, getting fucked over again, coming out of it on repeat.
Yeah.
The last one, in my opinion, by far the worst.
Yeah.
The fact that they healed all of her scars that she wanted to keep too, like all of that was really hard for her. Obviously, it gets brought up about 10 times.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. I will say I think this is my favorite book in the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which sacrifice do you think hit the hardest? There was a lot in this book. I have 2 in mind, actually.
I don't know.
I'll say Dorian's dad.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize he didn't have a name either. We've read 8 fucking books. This guy's mentioned in every single book, and we never thought, what's his name other than the King of Otterland? Did that hit you too? I'm like...
Yeah. I was like, what was his name?
I was like, did I miss it? No. How did Sarah J Maas hide that under our noses this whole time?
I remember thinking that in the book where she goes to be his champion. I was like, why don't they call him by his name? What's his name?
Yeah. The King of Otterland. That's his name.
Yeah. He's just the King of Otterland.
But then that ties up to the Nameless as the prize, which I thought was really poetic and a good sacrifice for Daddy Halviard, whatever. Dorian's last name is
Havaliard.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I like that one. And then also Adian's dad, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I texted you. I always start this is TMI, I always start my fucking period when I read a book like this, and I'm fucking crying about this character that I didn't care that much about because I'm just a woman and it sucks, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm being punished for the sins of my ancestors. That's what's happening.
It was going to be Lorcan's. Like, that hit me so hard, and I was like, he can't. No.
Oh, dude. I forgot about that one. I'm a Lorcan fan. Lorcan sounds hot. I'm a Lorcan fan. Oh, no, my number 1 guy in this book is Dorian. By far.
And then I thought it was going to be him. I thought he was going to sacrifice himself and actually be with Maeve and like do all that. I was like, this can't be real. This can't be real.
They got us there because we were texting all day. What chapter? I was 1 chapter behind her, and then I passed her at some point. I may have been listening on a different speed than you,
probably,
or if you paused it or so. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I passed you at some point. But I was 1 chapter behind you. Okay, so when Dorian made the little deal with Maeve, I was like, dude, fucking no. Aelin will never forgive you. You have no clue what Aelin's been through. Yeah. He didn't have a clue. No clue what Aelin's been through. Like, you will ruin your relationship with her if you do this. Honestly, you marry her, you're dead. You're done. And then when he went, I literally was like, yeah.
Yes. He's like, that's for torturing Aelin. That's for all of the things you've done, all of the people and lives you've cost, and you get to just stay here and starve.
And that ties up to why she's even there, which I loved when Aelin and Rowan were talking about her letters that she sent. And he was like, do you really think that my family's gonna listen to some letters? And she's like, they were strongly worded.
Yeah.
And then later on, he's like, they must have been strongly worded because it worked. They all turned against her and she was nobody.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, that was wild. Let's talk about our favorite High Lord of the Night Court.
Yes.
Okay, we've been talking about
I
this for
love
several
it.
episodes. Where's our Akatar connection?
Yes.
We didn't really get a real one like Crescent
No.
City did.
Yeah.
Okay. But we got a little snippet, and he helped
Yeah.
her.
Yes.
They said, a strikingly handsome male with wings and a very pregnant female.
Yes.
And he reached up on a mountain under the stars or something. And he reached out and like slowed time for her, and she felt a gist of black power or something like that. And I'm like,
yeah.
Daddy Reese. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, that was really cool. I texted her all caps, Reese.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Okay, here's a question. We've been talking a lot about build-up and battles. I think last week I said, is this going to be like fucking Lord of the Rings where they all show up at the same time? Do you think the final battles felt earned after the series-long build-up? We've been building up for these since the first book, honestly.
Literally. Over and over and over. You think maybe it'll happen in this book. Maybe something will happen here. No, it's literally just like moving around different continents and countries and
Yep.
drawing it out. More people fall in love.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was definitely very much deserved, earned all of the things after 8 freaking books.
Dude, why am I not thinking about the sacrifice of the 13? That one fucking hit.
That killed me.
I have goosebumps right now. Oh my god. I was so upset because you guys, if you're listening, you're probably like, these bitches changed their tune. Because we were bitching about Manon. We're like, what the fuck is this storyline?
Yeah.
And then now I like her, okay?
Yeah.
I'm entitled to change my opinion.
Yes. We grow and we learn, okay?
We grow and we learn as people, okay? That's how we get better.
Yes.
But when that happened, I'm like, oh my god, these people literally risked everything, but I mean, ultimately, everybody won. Yeah. But at the same time, there was a lot lost.
So much. Yeah. Yeah. I texted Haley, I think Friday night, before the 13, before Lorcan, before all of it. They were having battle and like everybody was dying. And I was like, this is the worst battle ever. I was like, this is so dumb. Everybody's dying. How do we get victory out of this? How does anybody get justice? Like, what the fuck? Where does Maeve come into this? Where does Erewhon come in? How is everybody just going to die? I was like, I hate it.
Yeah.
But then I finally did get better. People started coming back.
Yeah, for sure. I think one part that I thought was really dumb, and I still will say this after finishing the book, why did she have to lock up all the gods? The whole point of those 3 keys was to get rid of Erewhon.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would she have given away all of her power?
Yeah.
For the gods that weren't even fucking with him, really.
Then
how does the healer keep her power if the gods are gone?
Yeah,
and
I don't
Lorcan.
know.
And then the other girl who's really smart but has a limp, the gimpy girl.
Alid.
I like her.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do they keep all their powers? Because those are from the gods.
I don't know. I thought that was weird.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I will say, Aelin at the beginning of this book was back to her fucking scheming, and I've talked about this. She doesn't let anyone in on her plans. We get it. She don't want to let them down. But by the end of it, it was her and Rowan doing the plan together. Also, can we talk about Rowan scheming by putting the word marks in her tattoo? What a king.
Love that.
I love that. I'm like, pop off, Rowan. We love you. That was great. Yeah. That was really great. And I'm kind of shocked they didn't end it with her pregnant. Go ahead.
Me too. Including Lysandra and Alid in her last little adventure.
Yeah.
Because she even said, she's like, normally I wouldn't want to include anybody because I don't trust them, but I trust these 2.
Yep.
I was like, it's about fucking time you trust somebody.
Seriously, I get like her life, but these people had proven to be
time and time again. Yeah.
Yeah. Next level. Okay. You want to talk about what you texted me about Dorian?
I don't
about
remember
his
what I
shit thing?
texted
Do you remember?
Oh my gosh. I said, not fucking Dorian shifting into a woman and wondering if he should like hide away in the tent to find out what some things feel like.
Yes.
Fucking Dorian.
Yeah.
He had a Riddick moment.
Honestly, Dorian is very Riddick in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't feel like at the beginning, like when we first met him, he was still trying to be very much like a prince, but he was also like wearing the thing and under someone else's control. But after that, once he breaks free and meets Manon and starts doing all the things, I was like, okay.
He's a freak,
I like
man.
Dorian a lot more.
I like Dorian. I like Dorian a lot. Yeah, no, he's a freak. She's a freak. I love him.
It's like that. I'm really starting to like Dorian Howard.
You're killing me. That was perfect. That was perfect. But true story. True story. I get they want to keep Manon like wild and free. But she sounded open to marrying him, though. She said, like,
yes,
maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, she's like,
I think he would let her be wild and free. He loves that about her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can her teeth, like, she can choose that she has normal teeth?
I think so.
And then iron teeth, because he will comments would be like, not an iron tooth in sight. So, like, she had her guard down.
Yeah.
Or something.
I think so.
Also, what kind of witches don't have magic? This is the only
I
witches who don't have magic.
Yeah.
They just
can shift.
Immortal.
They can shift and they're immortal, yeah. But not like spells and like incantations or anything like that. I thought that was weird.
And the Krakens can fly on brooms. And they fly on wyverns.
Yeah.
Wyverns, whatever. They're pronounced differently in Onyx Storm versus here, but it's the same shit for like a dragon.
Yeah.
We talked about the 13. Okay, what reunion hit the hardest? Okay, there was a lot of reunions in this book. I think Dorian and Kale and Aelin, like when they all three got back together. That's mine, anyways.
I was just thinking of it, and now it's gone.
No, when they rescue Aelin and Rowan, probably.
Yeah, that one. Lysandra and her uncle.
Well, that one was sweet.
Yeah, I love that.
Have everything, inherit all of it.
It's all yours. Anything you want.
And she's like, I have everything I need.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Okay, so I just want to talk about connections again for a minute, because every single story from Assassin's Blade now has fully, in this book, been connected to the guy that sold her the spider silk being the shifter that is Lysandra's uncle.
Yeah.
And then Dorian killing that shifter that he made the deal with to give him his lifespan back unknowingly of anything else that was going on. I thought that was a super cool connection.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked that one. Oh, here's a good one. If there were to be a spin-off, which character would you want it to be?
I think either Dorian and Manon or Lorcan and Elide.
Okay, I agree with both of those for current times. You know what I'd love to see? I would love to see the cadre back in their glory days.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I love a good prequel. But then also something that would connect to the ACOTAR or Throne of Glass or Crescent City. Yeah. I would love to see some more connections. Yeah. Because I feel like she understood the assignment in Crescent City. 2 and 3. We've got like several. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it. At this point, we read the whole mass first. Yes. And she signed a deal 7 books for 7 more books. Throne of Glass is complete, supposedly. Yeah. So we have.
I think we need 3 or 4 more, which would still make it a long fucking series for ACOTAR. And then
there's already 5.
Yeah, and then 2 or 3 more for. So maybe 2 more ACOTAR, and then 5 more Crescent City.
And then all of them would be. Then they would all be symmetrical. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look behind me. Comparing the Throne of Glass book sizes. I mean, these are hardcovers. These are not. So you have to remember that.
But still, yeah, they're huge.
House of Flame and Shadow. My stuffed animals flying. I just want to see how many pages. This is a giant ass book, dude. I can't believe that I finished this. 838. Yeah. Oh, Kingdom of Ash is actually bigger.
Yeah, just barely. 100 and something pages.
Now, Silver Flames. How many pages is that one? Let me pulling out all my Sarah J Maas books. 757. So Kingdom of Ash is the biggest book.
Dang.
But we have to think about fonts and stuff, right? Are the page numbers the same on paperback and hardcover? I don't know.
Not.
Let me Google that actually because I want to know. Paper.
I love that Lorcan's name, because he took a lead's last name, is Lorcan Lock. Lord Lorcan Locken.
Lord Lorcan Locken. I fucking love that. That's my favorite thing ever. When that was happening, I was giggling.
Same.
Yes, they do keep the page numbers the same.
They just make the font bigger then, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good idea because if you're like have people studying or like you think about it in school when you're reading the same book, you say go to this page. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's probably a good publishing standard. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, because then like when Emma does her videos, she was like on page whatever, blah, 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 this book. Like,
did you know she lives in Arkansas? I don't know where. But she posted something about Arkansas. I'm like, one of our favorite book talkers. We may have talked about this before.
I think it's near Little Rock.
So she's a central girly.
I think so.
I just assume everyone lives here because it's the best place in Arkansas.
Also, you get people like the guy you were talking about earlier outside of Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, that's why it's such a shock.
The further south you go.
We don't get shit like that usually. Okay, do you feel like there's any other loose ends? My biggest loose end I've already talked about. It's the how they can still use magic with the gods being gone. What about the Coggins gods? Like that would also maybe be a good spin-off, like the whole Coggins story.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But any other loose ends? I really think everything else was tied up in a pretty bow.
It was very much so. But like you said, I really thought it was odd that they didn't have her end up pregnant.
Yeah.
At the end of the book. Like they're together, they're married.
They haven't been using protection. We talked about that earlier. Like she's not drinking the tonic or whatever.
Yeah.
Because Fae children are so rare.
Yeah. 0 to 1,000.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we aren't pulling out.
Yeah.
Good for y'all.
Maybe she didn't want to because they already have a pregnancy and they're like, let's leave that as it is. One is enough.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought it was funny. At the end, the spot where Erewhon died, they're like, I hope that washes off.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact that what's-her-face did it. What's her name? The healer. Not a lead.
No. What the fuck is her name?
Irene.
Yes, because it's a Y.
It's a Y. Yeah. Irene actually killed Erewhon is really cool to me. And that brings it back to Connections. Connections, that is the girl from the tavern that was getting beat up that Aelin saved, gave money, and taught her some self-defense maneuvers. So,
yes.
A full-ass circle.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay, she wrapped it up really well.
Add? Yeah, she did. She did.
And I'm so glad to be done with it.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch You. We have a dinner tonight, but after that dinner, I'm watching You.
Yeah, I'm going to watch, because I started rewatching it like a month ago, but then we started this, and I'm still in the second season now. I think I just got to the second season.
You're going to completely rewatch before you finish the last season? I did start I watched one episode of the last season and was like, oh fuck, I need to read my book. Funny story, I was traveling for work Thursday and Friday, and we got so delayed. And we ended up buying day passes to go into the lounge because we were delayed 4 hours. $79 for 4 hours, and you get unlimited alcohol and food. So we were like, airport food's expensive. That's 3 drinks. Oh, and we get dinner in a private place with chargers, comfy chairs, whatever. Has TVs, games playing, whatever. So, worth it. So we did that, and I had a few drinks. It's late, delay. I get on the plane. The entire plane ride, I'm asleep, and the book's playing. And I wake up, and I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. So I had to back it up, like, hours. But anyways, I texted Tisha. Yeah, I fell asleep for hours while this thing was playing, so. But anyways, yeah, I think we need a little break. Yes. But it's been fun.
Yeah, it has.
We're Sarah J Maas experts now, per se.
We are experienced. I don't I'd say experts because she has so many intertwining storylines and all the things. So I don't know that I could ever.
Yeah.
All right. So tune in next week. We have no idea what the fuck we're going to talk about.
We do not, in fact.
It might be conspiracy theory presentations. It might be a little thriller or rom-com. It might just be talking shit. Who knows?
It's not going to be fantasy, I can tell you that.
Definitely not checking out of the fantasy world for at least 10 days.
Yeah,
at least.
I was going to say at least a week, and most people are like, that's not very long. For
Yeah.
us, that's long, okay?
Yes. Yes. Tune in for that. Go follow us on our socials. Open Booked on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And leave us a comment if you've read the series, if you loved it, what your favorite parts were, or stories, arcs, whatever, moments that made you cry or made you fist bump. Yeah. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.